sensitive topic here, Caroline. So if at any point you feel like you don't want to answer anything, then feel free not to. But there was a split in the gym that happened. Well, Daniel's father, Stan, obviously your father, had the opportunity to say his say, and the right reply here, but it led to Stan and Daniel leaving the gym here and you staying with Shane. Just from your point of view, from kind of what happened, what would you like to say about it? And having seen the interview, what was your reaction to the interview?
I mean, I first saw the interview on the fight week of Daniel's fight. I kept getting tagged into it. I remember watching a video of someone just speaking about the fight, and they were like, "Oh, why Caroline and her dad not speaking?" And I was like, because my dad doesn't agree with female boxing and stuff like that. And then I watched the interview, the 9-minute video, and he was obviously saying that, you know, he didn't agree with female boxing and that he saw a change in me, blah, blah, blah. And I just think that's absolute BS, you know. That's trash, you know. That's a complete lie. And I think, you know, I started boxing when I was 9 years old. I'm 23 years old now. So that's over 10 years I've been boxing. And in all the years coming through, there was never any, I don't really know how I feel about female boxing. If you look at the past and how things were, I asked any of my old coaches, Lenny Haglin at the Islington, Del Youth, Gary McGuinness, you know, my dad was there. You know, he was there. He was ranting and raving. One of my biggest, flag bearers, you know, I really support this girl. I really want to see her do well, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, there was never any dislike to the fact that I was a female boxer. You know, when I went to the all-female show, the O2, I think over 2 years ago, where Clash of Shields fought Savannah Marshall, I was third on from the last fight, and, you know, I thought the fight ended early. I got showered, I got dressed. I came back out to leave, because usually when we go to fights, my dad leaves quite quickly. He just fights and goes, and that's his kind of motto, like, I'm in and I'm out. But, you know, he stood and watched the whole show, so there was never any problem with female boxing. Leading up to all my fights, he's watched all my opponents. He's watched Katie Taylor multiple times. Like, that's not the problem, you know. I think I would rather he just be honest about it and just say that, you know, I don't like her or blah, 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 or whatever. You know, I think leading up to why I left my house and why I left home and why I don't speak to my dad is, you know, I think an analogy that I can think of that I think is a really good one is, you know, imagine that there's a shopkeeper and he takes in a kid that's young, needs help. He takes him in and he looks after him, he gives him money, gives him a set wage and helps him and supports him for a very long time. You know, the kid's so, like, admirable and so grateful that he's been given this opportunity. He's been desperate. He's on the streets. He's going down the wrong path. This guy takes him in, gives him a job, gives him a focus, gives him something to do. And he's so grateful that anytime this guy asks for anything, he just does it. He doesn't even think about it, don't question it. Anything that guy does, ask him, go get this, he's there and back, you know. Stay overnight, he's staying, you know. Work extra hours. He's so grateful. But as this kid grows up, as he starts to develop, as he starts to grow as a person, he gets a family of his own. He gets a house. He has a mortgage. He's got bills to pay, and now he's grown up. It's been 10 years he's working with this guy, and you know, the one thing that he wants is a promotion. The one thing he wants is more money, and the guy will give it to him because he feels that he should be grateful. He thinks that he's helped him, that he doesn't deserve what he wants, and he's worked for years and years and years, and this guy won't give it to him, so he has to leave and go somewhere else. And obviously this shopkeeper, he's scorned about it, he's upset about it, and so he goes around, you know, he can't deal with the fact that he's left him now because he feels like he owns the person, and so he goes and just kind of shits on his name.
And those are the words of Caroline Dubois as she gives an accurate analogy of what happened between her and her father. Okay. Shout out to Spencer Faring. He will be on live tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. I'm resting up today, which you can tell I'm rested. But, you know, as she explained it, you know, he helped her, sure. But at the end of the day, as she was changing, and finding out, like, hey, I want to do this. I want advancements. I want to be recognized. I want to be respected. Because all these things, that's what I see from her explaining why she left her father. And her father felt like, hey, you should be grateful. Okay. Stanley felt that Caroline should be grateful for even allowing me to put you into the sport of boxing in the first place. So you should appreciate me instead of trying to do your own thing. That's what you need to do. That's how it should stay. And that's why, because you left, you showed disrespect. And because of that, I'm shitting on your name. That's what she said. Let's listen to some more.
And obviously, it's an analogy. It's not exactly what happened, but I think it's a good analogy. I think my dad wants me to act a certain way, be a certain way. And, I was 9 years old when I started boxing. He says that I've changed. The only reason I started boxing was because I took my life into my own hands and I decided that I wanted more for myself. I truly wanted more for myself. My dad's got 7 kids. He's got 11 kids in total, but with my mom, he's got 7. And I'm the middle child. And one thing you gotta know about the middle child is that, sometimes they get overlooked and they don't get that attention and they have to fight for it. And I was someone who took my life into my own hands.
And that is what she decided to do. And let me counterpunch. I think it's piss poor in character, honestly, to shit on your child. Let's look at Caroline Dubois for a minute. Caroline Dubois.
According to Wikipedia, okay. Caroline Sarah Dubois is a British professional boxer.
Okay, so this girl is 10 years. This girl has 10 fights, 5 KOs, no losses, no draws. Okay. And she's done a very good job. And the thing is, you got an undefeated sibling, and I think it's a lot of chauvinism in there too. Because, like she said, he really didn't deal with the girls. He pretty much paid attention to the men and the family, and the question I do ask myself is where the mom was at. But, that's neither here or there, right? So, but yeah, she took her life into her own hands. And because she decided to do that, he felt jelly. Since he felt jelly, he decided to start shitting on her name. And I think that's bad. Because that lets you know, okay, well, if anyone does something that you don't like that's supposed to be your child, any kid that he has, he's going to feel the same way about based on how he feels they should treat him or how he feels that he's definitely superior over them because he's the father. He's doing some Joe Jackson shit. That's all he's doing. Like, I own you, kid. You're my kid, No, I mean, so shout out to Caroline Dubois for clearing that up. But yeah, that's poor character again for shitting on your daughter because your daughter wants to do more with herself and saying that she's changed. So he wants more of a appreciative person that praises him while doing so. That's what he wants. That's what I see what he wants. You guys tell me what you think about this interview clip concerning Caroline Dubois and why she split with her daddy and why she doesn't deal with her father. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!